Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, or whatever ungodly hour you find yourself listening. We are the Bards Against Humanity, here to strum your lute and absolutely wreck your ear holes. So prepare for a podcast that'll hit harder than a nat one in bed, because we're coming in your ears.
That's right. Of course, I'm here, Leo. And Dan is, of course, here with a beautiful intro, beautifully done.
Why, thank you. I was trying not to burp as you were talking.
Oh, nice. Today, we are continuing on with the Warlock, of course, doing the first subclass, being the Archfey. Shall I introduce it, or will you? I've remembered to introduce what the actual Archfey subclass, what it actually entails. I've remembered, so I mean, we're doing well already.
Technically, this is not the first subclass we've covered for the Warlock. This is the first subclass on the list. Because we did last week do an episode with Rolling Ones, of course. Thank you for coming on. That was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun, and I'm shocked we're not doing it alphabetically.
No, we decided it was like we decided we'd do the Fiend subclass first, because that was Rolling One's favorite of the subclasses available for Warlock. And it just so happened that there was the first episode of Warlock we recorded, and we also introduced it in the Invocations episode that we would be recording with Josh and uploading it next week.
God damn it.
Yeah. So we're not going.
God damn it. Head like a sieve.
Yeah, we're going. What? FACG. FACG.
Oh, don't.
What is the weird, funky ass, non-alphabetical fucking with you?
What the fuck is this?
It's
some
all
guitar
alphabetical,
chord
yeah.
bullshit. That makes it worse, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
I think it might make it a bit more interesting.
Bleh. Anyway, what the Archfey patron is, I'm doing it now. Fucking prick, ruining the alphabet. But also, thank you so much, Rolling Ones, for joining us.
Thank you so much. It has been so much fun.
Yeah, it really has. Anyway, so as an Archfey, your patron, your pack draws from the power of the Feywild. When you choose the subclass, you might make a deal with an Archfey, such as the Prince of Frost, the Queen of Air and Darkness, ruler of the Glooming court.
Gloaming. It would be Gloaming if it was an A before the O.
Gloaming. Titania of the Summer Court, or just an ancient hag. Didn't want to give that one a title. Or you might call on a spectrum of Fey, weaving a web of favors and debts. Whoever they are, your patron is often inscrutable and whimsical. Think Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow would be a great Archfey patron if he was a supernatural being. Although I couldn't help but just I look at Ancient Hag and I was like, so many great grandmother jokes are coming to mind, but it's just none of them are actually standing out. They're all just melding into one.
Is that is similar to your mama joke, your great mama joke?
Yeah, pretty much. Yo, great grandmother, so old.
So old, she gave a T-Rex a high five.
And then made it cry.
Yeah, that's right.
Complete the high five because its arms are tiny. And
that's right. She burrowed for that meteor. She burrowed. Yeah, that's how old she is.
God fucking damn. Yeah. Archfays are cool. I think especially as a DM, it's always fun to play characters or patrons or deities or any denizens of the Feywild, because you just get a chance to act like a total and utter idiot for a while, because stereotypically the Feywild people do not make sense. They're fun, as it says here. They are whimsical, and they oftentimes really just don't make sense.
I like these sort of things. I do like the patrons where you get to interact. Obviously, some of them are a bit more serious. This one's obviously silly, and depending on your group, I'd say most groups enjoy a little bit of silly, just a little bit of Shroud.
Who doesn't love a little bit of whimsy added into the mix?
I'm glad you went so weirdly British.
Yeah, we move. Well, because you went, and that was the first thing that came to mind. It was either that or stop it, Ron, stop.
That's right, we'll take all of your potatoes. The Little famine joke for our non-Irish viewers.
And don't forget the seeds, wheat seeds. They're ours. The grain.
Yeah. That's right. Don't be taking away our grain.
They took the grain as well, boy.
Oh no. That's right. We took a grain too.
I love you tried to do an English accent, but it really sounded like it delved into Indian there for a second when you went, no.
No. Moving on. Dan, start us off with what happens first. What are we getting first?
First and foremost, both the new and the old Archfey Warlock have an expanded spell list. As per usual, the old one was a lot more confusing than the new one, but alas, we move.
If anything, Dan, we should really not move. That's the whole point of the podcast.
That's indeed.
But carry on.
Yeah.
Just so I'd say something.
One of the major differences between the two is the old Archfey was able to choose from an expanded spell list, whereas the new Archfey Warlock has those spells prepared constantly, which is nice. And I do believe they're pretty much the exact same spells across the board, which is nice because they were very thematic spells that fit within the subclass. So I'll just go through the old Warlock first. So when you could cast spells of first level, never mind. Sorry, because I'm completely confusing myself. Give me a second to recompose my thoughts here. The old Archfey Warlock got to choose from an expanded spell list, and the spells were as follows: the first level spells Fairy Fire and Sleep, the second level spells Calm Emotions and Phantasmal Force, third level spells Blink and Plant Growth, fourth level Dominate Beast and Greater Invisibility, and fifth level Dominate Person and Seeming.
Now we're talking.
Hell yeah, dominate that. And now with the updated Archfey spell list, as I said, is once you reach certain Warlock levels, you will have those spells always prepared in your spell list. So once you reach Warlock level 3, you'll have Calm Emotions, Fairy Fire, Misty Step, Phantasmal Force, and Sleep. Misty Step is the new spell they will always have prepared. Don't believe they had that in the old one. That might have been part of an ability. Once you reach Warlock level 5, you get Blink and Plant Growth. Level 7, Dominate Beast and Greater Invisibility. And level 9, Dominate Person and Seeming. So it seems. All of which are really nice spells, and they fit really well with the whole fucky wucky theme of the Feywild.
I think Blink is, for me, Blink is kind of the standout one for some reason. I don't know why. It definitely puts into the more chaotic theme of the Fey.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of the only, Yeah. But everything I like it. I like how it's more towards your Warlock level rather than what spell level you can cast. I think it's just a lot nicer for people who are either new to D&D or just people who don't tend to play with spellcasters. I know I don't, and spell level, doing it via the spell level makes no fucking sense to me. While the Warlock level checks out.
They're the exact same. So at third level, you can cast first and second level spells. Once you hit fifth level, you can cast third. Seventh, you can cast fourth. And ninth, you can cast fifth.
No need to be so confusing, 2014. Nice and simple. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty much for full casters. I think every second level, you can cast the spell level higher. Because once you hit 17th level, you can cast 9th level. So like 11 would be 6th, 13 would be 7th, 15 would be 8th, and 17 would be 9th.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
I do feel like...
Oh, yeah, we have more to talk about the spell list. Go for it.
Right. Well, no. It's to move on with the next thing. So obviously we mentioned about Misty Step, but there's also... So in 2014, they had Fey Presence, but they seem to have just completely gotten rid of. And instead replaced it with Steps of the Fey. So this means that your patron grants you the ability to move between the boundaries of the planes. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, a minimum of once. And you regain all expended uses once you finish a long rest. In addition, when you cast a spell, you can choose one of the following effects. So you can either do a refreshing step, where you immediately after you teleport, you or one creature you see within 10 feet gains 1d10 temporary hit points, Or you could do a taunting step, where creatures within 5 feet of the space you left must succeed a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or have disadvantage on attack rolls other than you until the start of your next turn. Which is super, also so chaotic. But I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
It's really
So
cool. It's
here for
essentially
it.
just you can add basically an extra modifier onto your Misty Step, and you don't
And it's
necessarily
free.
have. It's free. You don't necessarily have to either,
Yeah,
because like
you have the option.
you have the option, and especially 1d10 temporary hit points at 3rd level is going to be quite impactful, to be honest. Because especially if you roll the average, which I think the average of a d6 is either 5 or 6. I know it's a weird like 5.5 thing. I don't know which way they round it up, but it's.
I think it's rounded up, isn't it? Technically.
I think it's rounded up.
So
So it should be 6. Because
Just
weirdly
weird.
enough, the average they consider for the d6 is 5, not the d6. The d8 is 5.
D10. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, and this is a D10. So granted, you could for any dice you can always get 1, but that's a bizarrely high dice for level 3. So I like it. And what that's replaced is Fey Presence. So your patron bestows upon you the ability to project the beguiling and fearsome presence of the Fey. As an action, you can cause each creature within a 10-foot cube originating from you to make a wisdom saving throw against your Warlock spell's save DC. Creatures that fail the saving throws are all charmed or frightened by you, your choice, until the end of your next turn. And you can use this feature only once until you finish a short or long rest. Which is I much prefer having the option of being able to heal or not. I like the fact that it's conjoined with the Misty Step. It very much encourages you to bounce around the battlefield. And you're able to heal or debuff depending on the situation you're in. I like it. Much better improvement.
Yeah, the new and updated version is just kind of taking into account of your connection and kind of semi breaking the boundary between the planes to allow you to kind of take on that Fey mistiness and mysteriousness, really. Which, yeah, I do think Steps of the Fey is a much more improved ability, because I've always kind of thought that like fear class features on like player characters are a little weird. They either come into a place of like, oh, this can be really useful if you can use this more than once on long rest, because you can potentially maybe grab a couple of the what we could probably consider fodder enemies to kind of fail the save and then end up provoking opportunity attacks and running away from you. But it could also be a case of, I can't remember which subclass we went through, but I think it was the Draconic Sorcery, the old one where you could basically have a dragon's frightful presence, and if the enemy succeeded, they were immune to the effect for 24 hours.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's fine depending. Like, I'm pretty certain there's another feature which is more of the fact that it's a whole action that you can only do once, where it's like if they succeed that throw. Now granted, if they succeed the throw, you don't need more than one, but I don't know. I'm always hesitant for it to be a main feature like that. If it's part of a feature, it's like that's a fun add-on, very similar to like the refreshing step and taunting step that we just went through. If it, like that's just part of the ability, but when it's the whole ability, it's I'm always hesitant with it, like yourself.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. But yeah,
So what happens level 6 then?
Level 6 name has not changed. It is still called Misty Escape, but it has changed a good bit in terms of the effect. So Misty Escape used to be, at the start, starting at 6th level, you can vanish in a puff of mist in response to harm. So when you take damage, you can use a reaction to turn invisible and teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. You remain invisible until the start of your next turn or until you cast a spell. And once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So,
Okay.
it was a get out of dodge once a short rest.
Like, the fact that you turn invisible afterwards is pretty good. I don't mind it, but what they do? What they change it to?
What they change it to is instead, Level 6 at Misty Escape, you can cast Misty Step as a reaction in response to taking damage. In addition, the following effects are now among your Steps of the Fey options. So you have Disappearing Step, which you have the invisibility. You have the invisible condition until the start of your next turn, or until immediately after you make an attack roll, deal damage, or cast a spell. So that's one of the options. Or you now also have Dreadful Step. So creatures within 5 feet of the space you left, or the space you appear in, your choice, must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or take 2d10 psychic damage.
I like this more.
I like it so much more. Specifically because it's number one, it's not restricted to once a short rest.
Yeah,
And
you can do
usually
it multiple times.
And because you cast Misty Step as a reaction in response to taking damage, you have 3 free casts of Misty Step. Usually, if you're running a Warlock at 6th level, you might still only have a 17 in Charisma, which means you have 3 free charges of Misty Step.
I mean, if you're truly going for it, you could have 4 at this stage, I think. Yeah, surely.
You could have. Especially if you take like a half feet as well. You could easily
Exactly. I like this a lot more. You're given, once again, far more options. There was a moment when I thought, when I was going through it initially, I was like, you get 2? No, that would be ridiculous. You can't have 2. You can't do either Refreshing Step or Taunting Step and then Disappearing Step or Dreadful Step. That's too much. But once again, loads of options. You can still go invisible. Realistically, the detriment between 2014 and 2024, if you really like the 2014 version, is that instead of it being 60 feet, it's 30 feet. However, you can do it without you can still expend a spell slot for Misty Step. No one's stopping you from that. But you have 3 free uses normally. If you're building an Archfey Warlock, so you'll have at least 3 minimum, and you can still turn invisible if you'd really like. Granted, it's until the start of your next turn, but I don't think I just don't see that not being the case like in the 2014 one. You're going to put yourself in a position where you can attack. So, oh no, once again, even 2014 is to the start of your next turn. So it truly is just that how butthurt are you about 30 feet versus being able to maybe do 2d10 psychic damage. You're still able to let your allies gain temporary hit points and have enemies have disadvantage on attack rolls. I like this. I like it a lot. I'm glad that I like how the level 3 one has changed. We're building from, it's less random, funnily enough, for the Archfey, but we're building, and we're logically building.
Yeah,
I like it.
And do you know the way? And do you remember, like in our fighter, way back to our fighter episodes, Leo, you'd said you love a little maneuver.
Yeah, 100. Oh, this is scratching that maneuver itch.
Yeah,
big time.
It's basically just 4 maneuvers for Misty Step.
With unlimited amount. Your only thing is Misty Step you'll run out of. You won't run out of these maneuvers. I like it. I like it a lot. Maybe that's why I'm vibing with it so hard.
Maybe. Who knows?
Flashbacks.
Yeah. So the new and improved Misty Escape is 100% improved on the old version.
Big time.
So level 10, Lee.
Yes, level 10. Like in 2014, you get beguiling defenses. So in 2014, your patron teaches you how to turn your mind-affecting magic of your enemies against them. You are immune to being charmed, and when another creature attempts to charge you can use your reaction to attempt to turn the charm back on that creature. That creature must then succeed a wisdom saving throw against your Warlock save DC, or be charmed by you for 1 minute or until that target takes any damage. Now, in 2024, once again, you're immune to the charmed condition. And in addition, immediately after a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take in a reaction to reduce the damage you take by half, rounding down. And you can force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the attacker takes psychic damage equal to the damage you take. Once you use this reaction, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a packed magic spell slot, no action required, to restore the use of it. Now, this is a huge upgrade in my opinion. I like what they attempted to do in 2014, and maybe other people's campaigns are slightly different to ours, but actively being charmed does not happen a lot. It's less than frightened. However, it's still I'm still delighted to be able to be immune from being charmed. However, trying to turn the charm back on the creature, while thematically it's quite fun, quite fucking useless. However, an enemy is always going to try to attack you.
Yeah, I do see that. And it is nice to be able to just completely reduce the damage by half. It's great for survivability. I will use that. The old version I did kind of like, but to an extent as well, I understand that trying to turn the charm back on an enemy who's already tried to charm you may not always work. But when it does, it will work really well. And what was I going to say? Oh god, my brain's not working. That's it. Especially for a long term, at least, and especially then for like a long term BBEG, they're going to understand eventually that a character is immune to the charm condition, so they won't be able to. So they're going to, at least in the latter stages of the campaign, they're going to ignore charm effects on that character in particular.
Yeah, and from my experience, a lot of creatures that can charm are immune to being charmed themselves. It's especially like in the later stages of in your campaign. So I don't like. It's super fun as a concept. I can see why they attempted it. Like thematically, it's quite fun as a concept. Still super chaotic to fit the Fey.
Yeah,
but actually, it's never used, which for a level 10 is horrendous. While now, granted, funnily enough, you kind of lose your Misty Step reaction that you grabbed at level 6 with the Misty Escape, but it means you can do something else with your reaction, which is super rare from my experience. And I like how you don't necessarily have to wait. You can use the Pact Magic spell slot if you feel like people are being, if your big bad is being really mean, you can just keep using it again and again. Yeah. I like it. I think this is a really good improvement.
It is really, really good. And especially since there are still technically invocations that allow you to have a spell that you can cast for free. You can still do some battlefield things. Will say you might decide you want to save your Pact Magic for beguiling defenses, which is really cool. And you can still, act like an Eldritch Blast Cannon, but just be zipping and yipping around the battlefield, which is crazy.
Which is wild. I really like that they're obviously going for chaotic, and chaotic looks good. It's a good color for them to wear. I just think they're polishing it up a lot nicer, which I enjoy. But Dan, what do they finally get at level 14?
Okay, their level 14 ability in 2024 has changed completely. It's now called Bewitching Magic, but they used to get a thing called Dark Delirium. So starting at 14th level in 2014, you can plunge a creature into an illusory realm. As an action, choose a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you. It must make a wisdom saving throw against your Warlock spell save DC. On a fail save, it is charmed or frightened by you, your choice, for 1 minute, or until your concentration is broken, as if you were concentrating on a spell. This effect ends early if the creature takes any damage. Until the illusion ends, the creature thinks it's lost in a misty realm, the appearance of which you choose. The creature can see and hear only itself, you, and the illusion. You must finish a short or long rest before you can use this feature again. So they are stuck in that they were stuck in that misty realm until 1 minute passed or you broke your concentration. It's certainly a way to get something off the battlefield.
Only for a bit. Let's what do we get in 2024?
Yeah, 2024 I think is much better because you can use it a lot more freely. So Bewitching Magic, your patron grants you the ability to weave your magic with teleportation. So immediately after you cast an enchantment or illusion spell using an action and a spell slot, you can cast Misty Step as part of the same action without expending a spell slot.
Like that's just, oh yes. Like my issue with Dark Delirium is, well, firstly, it's only realistically it's once per fight, and it drops as soon as that creature takes any damage. So maybe it's more for running away or for like a little round recharge. Very situational. You could use Dark Delirium and it'd be absolutely pointless, which for level 14, I'm not a fan of.
Honestly, one of the greatest ways I can see it being used is for interrogation.
Yeah.
Like, imagine
You're gonna
just
throw me a
chatting
roleplay thing
Imagine
at
just
level
like,
14?
yo, yeah, I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna get a Archfey BBG to just Dark Delirium all of you, because they're the BBG, they can do that. The rules don't apply.
Exactly. Like if you're, oh, but if it was a player, you could only do it to one person, really. And you'd be like, ooh, like, what's happened to Steve? Oh, Steve's in the Dark Delirium. But that's all the BBG. That's all he did. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna hit him, and he's lost concentration. Damn it! Can we take a short rest?
I'm gonna hit him with magic missile. At what level? Ninth level magic missile.
So but this one, we're once again. Guess what we're doing, Dan? We've built the Misty Step. We're still building, and that reaction thing that I said at level 10 doesn't matter anymore, because anytime you cast a spell, succumb.
Honestly, yeah.
You'll end up like Nightcrawler.
Honestly, yeah, you will. No, actually, this is the way you would build Nightcrawler.
This is how you build Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. Maybe I'd say you might build Nightcrawler to an extent, and then maybe multi-class into either monk or fighter.
It's got to be monk. It's got to be monk.
Yeah.
Already thought I was about to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's like you go level 14 in Archfey Warlock, and then you multi-class to monk. Everything else goes to monk, and now you are Nightcrawler.
Exactly. Hell yeah, Nightcrawler. Woo, let's go.
If you went into fighter, you'd be what's that movie called? That awful Wolverine one where Ryan Reynolds was first Deadpool, and at the end he has the blah blah.
He has the blah.
Yeah, they put all of the powers into Deadpool, but they shut his mouth shut. But his katanas come from his hands, and he blinks around the gaff with his sword.
He had teleporting magic. Not teleporting magic.
Fuck knows from where. Fuck knows from where, if I'm being honest.
He got the teleporting mutant ability from some mutant that they just embedded into him.
Yeah, yeah, but it's like there was no Nightcrawler in that movie.
I don't think so.
So, but yeah, if you want to be that Deadpool, then you go 14 and then into fighter. If you want to be Nightcrawler, you just go into monk. But you have to be Cobalt because you have to be blue. That's the integral part of Nightcrawler's whole thing.
Or you could just be a water genasi.
Are they blue too?
Yeah.
Are they blue blabu dee dabu da?
Oh yeah.
Blue dabu dee dabu da. I don't think we get copyright strike for that. I don't think it's close enough.
No, that's not close enough.
But I like the changes. I must say, I think for me, the Archfey was like 4 as a subclass, because we've done this many a time going through a subclass, and it just seems, I know they were going for chaotic. There were some things that I don't blame them for trying, but just doesn't come out, like the beguiling defenses. I don't mind them trying that, but it just didn't work. I'm glad they've completely abandoned it, and I actually quite like this subclass now. I'm willing to give it like a 7. I'm not blown away. I'm intrigued. So 7.
Okay. I do really like the idea of blinking around the map. I do feel like the main identity of this class comes from being able to teleport 30 feet a turn.
Yeah.
It is fun. It is good, but I'm inclined to kind of stick it around the 6. I don't think it's incredibly strong, but it can use and abuse Misty Step very well. You can certainly have a lot of fun RP-wise with a Feywild patron. I just don't feel like, compared to what some of the other classes we've gone through or will go through, that it's necessarily one of the best ways to go, especially for a warlock. I think most of the magic from this subclass probably is going to come from how you build it with invocations, maybe. So maybe I'm just thinking about it too, like, blinkered. But I just feel like teleporting around the map, especially at level 3, maybe even level 6, like kind of then and beyond, it doesn't necessarily do it for me.
Fair enough. Now I want you to try and cast your mind to see what you gave Circle of the Sea, because I think you gave that like a 3 or a 2. Yeah. Is this twice as good as Circle of the Sea, or is it better than that?
Well, you see, I've always thought of anything as sub 5. It's more of an exponential curve, the 1 to 10 for me, versus
I see.
oh yeah, this is twice as good as Circle of the Sea. No, just when I gave Circle of the Sea like a 2 or a 3, that was a bad 2 or a 3.
Granted, I ask that question just to bring up how shit Circle of the Sea was? Yes.
Yes,
I did.
We didn't reach our quota of shitting on it once per episode.
Yeah. It's dog shit. Just
Actually,
it's awful.
I don't actually think we did it in the Invocations episode. We got to do it twice. Circle of the Sea is shit.
Super shit. No. For it to count as 2, we got to change the topic. So, Warlock, Archfey, if you choose it, I have no issue with that. Fair play. Might just probably not the one for me. Secondly, the Circle of the Sea is dog shit.
I was going to really expertly weave it into my goodbye at the end of this episode and just go, yeah, goodbye.
Oh.
Don't forget Circle of the Sea shit.
Oh, we could do it a third time. I don't think people will mind.
Yeah, but I've brought it up now. The surprise ain't there.
It'll
Maybe
still
by
be
the
there
magic
for
of
me,
editing.
Yeah, the beautiful magic of editing.
Maybe, who knows?
Who knows? But I think that, dear listeners, brings us to the end of another session. Don't forget, we're doing this completely wrong alphabetically, so God only knows what's happening next week. It's all fucking Wild West bullshit.
Celestial.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You'll have to click the bell to know which one it is for next week. I think. I don't think I've done that plugin correctly. 1 second. Well,
Yeah, click that bell icon
click
on YouTube for notifications.
for notifications, and then on when we post. Yeah, I've worded that weirdly, but do it. Okay. so that now we're ending another session where the dice are hard, the jokes are harder, and our standards are at an all-time low. If you enjoyed this chaos, be sure to follow and subscribe. If not, at least we finished, even if you didn't. Goodbye.
Bye. And as promised, Circle of the Sea is shit.
Yeah.